Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel and welcome to Live Q&A with me. It is February 5th, 2018. I'm very excited because just now, like 30 feet away, you'll notice the big background here behind me is gone because someone is painting it right now. They haven't actually started painting it yet. They're actually drawing in what they're going to paint, and it just looks really cool. I'm very excited about that. You probably won't see it on too many videos this week because I've already recorded a lot of the stuff for this week. So, but you'll see that eventually. So that's really exciting. If you have any questions, of course, just ask them to me and I will get to them as quickly as I can. As always, I don't answer all questions, but I answer a lot of them. Although my script does not seem to be working here. Did I put in a thing incorrectly? Let me check. Lately, almost all the scheduled live streams get rescheduled an hour. No. If there's some sort of problem with the live streaming, it's on YouTube's part. They go up exactly when I schedule them, so I'm not sure what the problem is. So I'm not sure if YouTube is changing something. There we go. Oh, all right. So anyhow, I'm still not getting any questions yet. Okay, so what else is going on this week? So me and Melody are reviewing Anachrony tomorrow, so there's that. And I got a whole pile of other reviews. I've already reviewed most of the stuff I'm doing this week. In fact, we're recording a top 10 tomorrow. And just got a lot of cool things that putting together. Did some best of designers that are coming this week. This week I'm doing Scott Alms and Bruno Catala. So you can look forward to that. All right, let's see if we got any questions. Meanwhile, still $20,000 in bounced Kickstarter money. No, it's down to $5,000 now, which is to be expected. There's always going to be people who don't pay for Kickstarters. It just happens, and that's another reason I had considered Indiegogo in the past because, again, you have to pay when you do it. But $5,000 is a little bit less of a blow, I think, than $20,000 is. You asked me to re-ask this week. With Tiny Epic Zombies allowing you to play as the zombies, what game would you be interested in seeing the roles reversed between the game and the players? King of Tokyo. I like to be a bunch of people trying to take down the giant monsters that are destroying things. Yes, I know Monsters Ravage America was a little, or Monsters Menace America, the reprint, was a little bit of that, but not quite. And there's very few games where you have this. I guess there's a few things like Assault of the Titans has it kind of, sort of. But I love one where you're working and trying to take down these giant monsters that are coming in and destroying things. Do you want there to be expansions for Stuffed Fables? Well, probably, but we haven't finished it yet, so I don't really am dying for expansions until we finish the base game. Is 8th Summit out of business? I don't know if they're out of business per se, but their games, I'm not actually sure the status of 8th Summit right now. I'm sure once we know for sure it will be announced. Live plays, anything scheduled? This week we're going to be playing Kingsburg Live. The new version, so you can see what the new version looks like. And I have an idea of what the other game is going to be, but I haven't yet run it through everybody, so I can't really say what the other game will be. Would you suggest people to play Stuffed Fables that don't have kids? Not really. I really think this is a game to play with your kids. I'm not saying you can't do it, but like, for example, the very first episode is about the girl who's moved from her crib to a big girl bed. And then the second episode is about her not wetting herself, but going to the bathroom at night when she's afraid. That is great material for me and my kids to play with. It would seem really weird for me to be playing it with other adults, I think. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it. It just would seem weird to me. But mileage may vary. Any chance you'll make it to HowlCon again this year? Unfortunately, I think that's a hard no because it's the same time as Essen. And I got to pick Essen. My favorite sitcom, probably Parks and Recreation. No, Chuck. Well, I don't think Chuck's a sitcom. So Parks and Recreation. Should I be intimidated about jumping into Gloomhaven? I don't know if you should be intimidated. Just go into it, read the rules, watch Paul Grogan's video. That's what I would do. How do you keep yourself from getting enraged when so many people comment on your videos with very minor, inane critiques? I yell about it loudly in the room, and then I can move on. It's going to happen. What did I just read on Facebook? Someone said, your voice is too high, he said. And then he said, my shirts were too tight, which I feel is not quite true. But maybe that was, he watched one where I had a tight shirt, so. He also said, what did he say? I wore silly fedoras, which I guess you could find truth in that. And he said, I can't keep doing his voice. And he said, oh, he hated component drops. So I apologize for everything except the component drops because I think I like doing those. In the game Pandemic, do you win when you've discovered all cures or when they're all eradicated? It's when you discover them all. Eradicating all the diseases is very difficult. But it's possible, but very, very difficult. You are making the game way harder for yourself if you do that. The next con I'm attending is going to be Recon. It's in Miami University in Ohio. And so that's only a couple things away. Any thoughts on the recently announced video game Space Hulk Tactics? I don't know anything about it, actually. Thoughts on Academy Games doing a non-historical games, Agents of Mayhem, on Kickstarter. Some Academy fans are upset they're doing a PG-13 game. I don't know. I mean, I figure they've been doing all these war games. Are those not PG-13? That seems weird. But whatever. I don't know or care about that controversy. Is there too much plastics in board games? I don't think so. Have you seen a Jurassic World 2 or Han Solo trailer? Yes, I've seen them both. Your level of excitement? All right, Jurassic World looks cool. It's more stuff than the first trailer. The first trailer just didn't show them running from a volcano. This one shows a little bit more of a story, but I'm still not seeing what's making this one different than the rest. I mean, I'm still interested to see it. It's Jurassic Park. Solo, I don't know. There's part of it that looked really cool. The Imperial Star Destroyer flying and stuff. Is this new guy Han Solo? We'll have to see. I mean, I'm going to watch it. I'll be enthusiastic about it. It's Star Wars. But the trailer didn't, like, make me jump up and down. So, not like when I first saw, you know, the Infinity War trailer. It's like, wow. You know, I was excited about that. This one did not do it for me, but we'll see. Any chance of doing another live play with your family doing games? Yeah, we'll probably do that at some point. It's just not as easy to do now that I'm not doing videos at home. A live play of Sid Real Confluence is not going to happen. Sorry, guys. In Miami Dice, you give thumbs up or down. In Tom Vasel reviews, you tend to give a pithy summary. In Look Back, you give numerical reviews. Is there a reason the shows have different review criteria? Well, no, not really. They all have numerical ratings. I just don't always put them, actually, I don't put them in the reviews at all. And the main reason I don't put numbers in the reviews is because people put too much emphasis. If I put numbers in a review, I guarantee you that people will say, you said all this, and then you gave it a 7. Why? It will happen all the time. And I just don't, or people will be like, well, blah, 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 blah. You said all that, you said 7, okay, I'll get it. You said 6, I'm not getting it, whatever. And I don't, people put too much emphasis on those. So I give the reviews, all our reviews have a number rating, and you can guesstimate it by seeing the seal of approval. If it's a seal of approval, you know it's a 7 or 8. Seal of excellence, 9 or 10. I've given out like 3 seals of excellence in 2018 so far, not too many. But the thumbs up in Miami Dice we just started doing as a joke to some degree. I mean, it kind of gives you a general thing, but we still numerically rate those. Everything's numerically rated, so we're kind of consistent, except we're not. Do you put hot sauce like Tabasco in your eggs? I put hot sauce on everything. Love that green Tabasco. Yeah, I guess. I don't put Tabasco on too much stuff. I don't mind the Tabasco flavor. I just have so many other cooler hot sauces. Tom, with a large number of games using Dixit-style cards, will we ever see a multiple games in one box release for Dixit with all the different games in one box? No, I don't think so, because all the different games from Dixit are from different companies. Dixit is from Repos. Mysterium is from Asmodee. Well, I know Asmodee and Repos have a very close relationship, but that doesn't mean that they would do that. And then Muse is from QSF Games, Quick Simple Fun Games. I don't know why they would all put them in the same box. That doesn't make sense. Tell us a little more about Chief Sohcahtoa. Chief Sohcahtoa is currently on vacation this week. Wow. Technically, it's next week. But because of the time continuum for you, he would be on vacation this week. But I can tell you he's already really enjoyed the vacation. It was a really good time. I mean, there was that stint in the middle, and I had to go in and help again. And it was a very long thing. But it wasn't the first time that we've dealt with the Frachwalls. But we were able to handle that with no problem at all. In fact, I even got to see some new technology, which is always cool. Blackwolf makes us a lot of cool things, and now there's a gun that shoots another gun that shoots a third gun. We've seen the gun shooting gun aspect before, but we hadn't seen the gun shoot the gun shoot the gun thing. So that's pretty cool. We're just kind of hoping that the third gun will now be able to also transwarp at the same time, but they're still working on that. A lot of people are asking about the wall, but I talked about that at the very beginning of the show. Is there hope we'll ever see a Star Wars retheme of Memoir 44 Battle Lore? That'd be cool. I would actually really, really like that. But maybe that's... Yeah, that'd be cool. Will Lords of Hellas replace Kemet for you? Not of currently, and I don't know that it would replace it because I like both of them a lot. I like Kemet better still, mostly because of the technology stuff in it. That's true. Someone said they're excited. There's a Dice Tower Facebook group. That's true, and I should actually have posted that I'm doing this in that Dice Tower Facebook group. So let me quick do that so that if you're not part of the Dice Tower Facebook group, you should be, because it's super cool. And I'm really surprised at how many people joined that so quickly. The Dice Tower, there it is. That's not the Dice Tower Facebook group. There it is, the Dice Tower Facebook group. And I will post this there now. Live Q&A with Tom now. But if you're not part of the Facebook group, go and ask, and we will add you. There is currently 2,105 members. That was really fast growth there. Let's hit 10,000. Okay. Let's see here. Did I see the Jurassic Park game come out from Ravensburger? I did, yes. Would the Dice Tower be interested in ever discuss coming to having a booth at New York Comic Con? I don't think we could afford that. So, and I don't know about the time. I haven't even looked into it. Have I played the paperback expansion yet? I have not, but just an hour before recording this, I picked it up and looked at it. Top 10 breads? Nah, I don't think I can do a top 10 breads. It'd be Cuban and French would be at the top. I know that, but... do you have a favorite commercial from the Super Bowl? If you watch the game, of course. Yeah, I had a Super Bowl party. I had a lot of fun because you give me an event to put some food together. And then halfway through the Super Bowl party, during the halftime show, we played bracketeering, which we played last week live. So that was fun. Everyone seemed to enjoy that. So I watched the Super Bowl, and yay, Philadelphia. The commercials, I didn't see all the commercials, although I just watched several of them. I think the best one's Tide. I like anything that's meta, and that was very meta. The Tide commercials were probably my favorite. For Dice Tower Con, does the con die off on Sunday? It definitely does die off, but you can play all the way to the end. There's people who are still there playing games on Monday. Do you have any special memories using a typewriter? Yeah, well, I actually learned to type on a manual typewriter. So when I first went to a word processor, I didn't even go to a computer. I went to a word processor first, and I was like banging on the keys really hard. But that I'm glad I learned to type on a manual typewriter. It makes me type really fast today. So I mean, I type. My mom had an electric typewriter. that, you know, would fix, you know, would put like a little whiteout letter on top of the letter you type, which I thought was the neatest thing. And then I got a word processor, which I took with me to college, and you could type a whole line, and then you look at the line and be like, yes, press enter, and it would print it. That was fascinating. And that only lasted like a year. And after that, I just started using the computer like everybody else. Of course, it's kind of funny. I mean, just how these things differ now, how life is so different. I wonder, do like college kids type their papers on their phones now? Maybe that's possible. But I make all my kids learn to type. They don't need to. I don't care if they learn cursive. My wife teaches it probably, but I don't care at all. But they need to learn how to type. Oh, the question is, do you have any special memories using a typewriter? No, I just remember using it. What's your favorite song from a musical? There's so many good ones. I've been listening to a lot of the Matilda stuff. My kids love The Greatest Showman, so I'm getting a little tired of hearing those songs. I put 3 of The Greatest Showman songs on my playlist. I have 3 from Matilda. I have only 1 from Hamilton, which is You'll Be Back. I don't know what my favorite one is. There's a Sucker Born Every Minute from P.T. Barnum. I don't know if I have a favorite song. I have to go back and look through them. There's a lot of great ones. Isabel says, can you ask Z why no Lice Shower the card game in his top 10? Not as good as the original or just no longer obscure? Well, a joke usually only works once. Sometimes jokes work twice, but not often. Tom, with the expansion of the hobby, do you see pre-ordering becoming the only way to play new hot games from small publishers if you want to play it in the first year of release? 10,000 copies go fast. 10,000 copies do not go as fast as you think most of the time. But yeah, if you want to play them the first year. But again, there's so many good games you can play right now at any point in time. How come you did not put Through the Ages in your top 10 two-player games? You always liked it two-player best. Yeah, I just didn't make my top 10 list, I think. Also, oh no, I know why. Because it didn't come out 5 years ago. Yeah, I know the new version of it came out, but it's the same as the old version with some minor changes. Yeah, we were only doing games that were 5 years or fewer. Who is Chief Sohcahtoa? Well, I can't really tell you everything about him, but suffice it to say he's a secret agent working for the United States of Americanos. And he and I were partners for 57 month years. And still I help him out on the slide, but we worked together mostly when I was teaching. Is it against the Dice Tower Facebook group to post pictures of food? Because it should. I don't care if you post pictures of food. I like looking at pictures of food. Did you agree with Z's ranking of the pandemic characters? No, in fact, this morning I was talking about it. I actually don't know how, I didn't watch all of them, but he said his number 1 was Generalist. For me, Generalist is okay, but it's just boring. That's my biggest thing about Generalist. It's like, ooh, a 5th action. That's really good. Don't get me wrong. I like it. But I want something that's cool. Although I'm kind of a bread and potatoes guy. I mean, the medic and scientists are like really high on my list. Is Sam outside the window staring at you again? No, you don't even see any. All the windows here are covered. Do you like beef jerky or do you like dried sausage? There's no or there. It's a yes, yes. I like them both. In fact, I just got my beef sticks in from a Kickstarter I backed and made beef sticks. They cran barbecue. That was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't that strong of a flavor, but it was pretty good. They're spicy barbecue ones. Oh, this company's amazing who makes these. I don't know. I mean, I backed the Kickstarter and I had them like 3 weeks later. I like that kind of Kickstarter. The Doritos Mountain Dew commercial, yeah, that was okay. Will you watch the Olympics? I might, but I don't watch a lot of sports and I don't have TV. So I watch everything on the internet. So if they put anything up on the internet, I might watch it. I like the opening ceremonies, always, a lot. They're fun for me to watch. And And especially since they're in Korea, and I just love Korean stuff. That'd be pretty cool. I wish we were still there. Well, not just for that, but that'd be neat. Of the Winter Olympic sports, bobsledding I think is super fun. The figure skating things are pretty neat to me. I like figure skating. I actually like the winter sports better than the summer sports. I think there's very little in winter sports that I don't like watching. I think that stuff's just really neat. It's cool. So. Did you finally order more packs of those expensive tiny dinosaur miniatures you showed off in Dice Tower tonight? I didn't order any more. Someone told me they were at Michael's. So I went to my Michael's, and after looking at a lot of other stuff they had, I picked up 3 more packs. That's all they had. So I'm going to go back there in a week or two, see if they have more. Do you regret the joke from the previous obscure list? No. There's only one joke in my life I've ever regretted. I'm usually pretty happy with my jokes. I try not to do jokes that will actually hurt people and cause them problems. I mean, the one joke, I'm not going to talk about the joke I regretted, so don't ask. But there was one joke that I thought about. But when we lived in Korea, my father-in-law ran the school we were there. And my father-in-law and I get along sometimes. And so anyway, if you are at a hagwon, that's what they're called, they're English institutes, hagwons in Korea, you're always looking for people who are willing to come over. I mean, they send recruiters to America to hunt these people down. If you're watching this and you have a teaching degree, you could be in Korea in a week right now. That's how desperate they are to teach people. You have, I mean, the possibilities are there. So they're always looking for people. People come and then they leave. So it's hard to get people, and you're always looking for new people. Well, credentialed people are even better if possible. So I don't know why, so the night before April Fool's, I typed my father-in-law an email. I made up an account from Jim Foles. And Jim Foles said, hey, me and my wife, we just graduated with our master's degree in English from the college. And our daughter graduated. We got our master's degree, and our daughter just got a regular degree. And all 3 of us are, willing to come out. When do you need us? We are fully funded. We do not even need a salary. And it was ridiculous. I just made it over the top. Like I said, our daughter April is coming with us, and they went to the same college that he went to. So I made it so that, and they thought a lot of the same things. They were excited to come. They loved Korea. Blah blah blah. So I sent this email. So the next morning we got there. Oh, and they went to college with me. His daughter did, April. So he came in and he said, this guy Jim Foles emailed me. He's telling everyone he was super excited. And he said, do you guys know April Foles? And I said, let me write her name on the board for you. And on the chalkboard, I'll be at chalkboard still, I wrote April Foles and said it out loud. And he just looked at me. And I don't think he found it as funny as I did, but I still laugh. And that was 16 years ago. Sorry. That one was amusing to me. Okay. Getting off topic here. Let's see what else we got. So anyway, back to the list. We did the obscure games, and we each picked a game that was not on our previous list. Goal, Assault on Ganymede, and Light Shower. And hardly anyone noticed. We made a video a few days later, and people thought they were real games. So, I mean, I really went out of my way. I got them entered in the Board Game Geek. I emailed a bunch of people and said, can you go rate them? And, so that they look like the realistic games. So maybe we were too good at it. Either way, it was pretty funny, I thought. My goal with jokes is not to hurt anyone, not to make anyone spend any money financially, not to destroy stuff, and not to make someone feel too bad. I just like the joke part itself. And also, I like jokes with I love the long con. I mean, I am currently working on a long con that I've been working on for years. The payoff will come someday to that. I love long cons, but they should also be jokes that the person who's joked at will laugh about later on too. And my father-in-law thought it was funny years later. Learn typing with 10 fingers on a typewriter. Is that still being taught with computers? I think so. I still use all 10 fingers. Do I collect pop vinyls? No, I don't. I mean, I might get a couple every once in a while, but I don't collect them. yet. Do you like Fiddler on the Roof? Yes. Although my favorite song from Fiddler on the Roof is not one. Well, okay, To Life is a really great song. But I like Do You Love Me? I just like the idea of that song. I'm a big fan of old love, like love that's lasted a long time. That's better than and I saw her and I fell in love with her the very first second. I just watched West Side Story and I was like, come on, guys. Maria, he fell in, you know. But West Side Story is a good musical. That's another one that's on my list, you know. I do like the songs from it, and it's, you know, it's Romeo and Juliet in the modern age, or the 60s. But let's see. Was there ever a day on which you did not want to play any board game? Oh, yeah. But, I mean, I just didn't play any board games. I don't think I played any board games Saturday. Yeah, maybe not. Today, my son is 4 years old. I didn't buy him any board games. I bought him a lot of cars. He likes cars. Jokes only work once. Explain Chief Sohcahtoa. Well, Chief Sohcahtoa is not a joke. I mean, he can be really funny. I mean, there was a time where he went back in time and played a joke on himself, which I thought was really amusing. And the first him did not think was funny at all. In fact, later on, he got mad about it, so he decided he would go back and do it. And I was like, you were forming some sort of temporal rift here. This doesn't even make any sense. But he thought it was funny for a brief moment. Then he was mad, and then it was really confusing. But overall, you know. Do you know what's happening with Mayfair? I have no idea what's happening with Mayfair. My wife said she wanted me to stop buying board games. I shared Tom Thinks with her. Oh, no. Don't be using me as a justification to buy more games. I'm just saying that we should not necessarily criticize others. If it's someone in your own family and you have to deal with them and they are part of your thing, that's different. Some random person come up to me and saying, I don't think you should spend your money on this, is one person. My wife saying, Tom, we can't afford this, that's a completely different thing. Do you know much about the new Kickstarter Batman game? No, but, well, I mean, I know a lot of, it's basically like Conan, except that it's Batman. Tom, did you tell all of your students about Chief Sohcahtoa and your many months, years adventures? Oh, yeah. I would every year. Every year I would tell the kids. And I would always start out by saying, this is a true story. And then I would tell them this story. And one time I told them about when my wife and I had been carjacked. And I remember I was in chapel and I got up and I said, this is a true story. And everyone just laughed and laughed. And I was like, what? Oh, yes. I said, well, this is actually a true story. So it got confusing. I have to be careful there. Do you like Dr. Pepper? It's okay. I'm not a huge soda fan. I mean, I really like cream sodas, but not like that much. I hardly ever drink soda. I drink it like if I need to stay awake when I'm driving a long distance in the car, but my weakness is iced tea. Sweet tea is where I'm a sucker for, but I don't even drink that much. Water. I drink mostly water these days. What company makes the beef sticks? Oh, I don't remember, guys. I'm sorry. I know let me go to Kickstarter and see what it was called. If you follow me on Kickstarter, I guess you can see it was called Beef Sticks, The Final Snacking Frontier. Janet Wilcom. That's all I know. She got $5,000. It wasn't much. But I got 75 sticks for $100, which is not that cheap, honestly. But I'll make them last a long time. So it's like $1.25 each. Oh, and actually, no, I think she threw in a stretch goal of 8 sticks of the new flavors. So I got 8, so I got like 108 or like 83. But man, they're really good. Really good. All right. Let's see here. Tom, why are you not coming to Iceland? Well, I really would like to, but that's the same week I'm going to the Poland board game camp. So probably not. I probably need to do that instead. Are you glad Ronda Rousey is in the Wii now? I don't actually understand that statement. Ice hockey for winners, my favorite actual competition. Yeah, that's true. Body wash or bar soap? Both. I was just I'm a big sucker for soap. I love soaps, especially all kinds of weird nude soaps. I was at the fair, and so there was a soap making place there, and I got, what did I get? I got cherry lemonade soap, which smells really good. My wife didn't think it smelled as good, but I like it. But spearmint, man, I really like spearmint scented, I say flavored, spearmint scented soap. I really am enjoying that one. But body wash, I use the scented soaps just as like a fun. I like how they smell, but for odor reduction, body wash seems to work well. My favorite wrestler. Oh, you were talking about WWE, not we. She's in the WWE? Oh, okay. My favorite wrestler of all time, the Dudley Brothers. Let's see here. Or Big Boss Man, too. I liked him. Let's see here. Do you ever watch online marble races? Yes, I like online marble races. I love marbles racing down things. When I was a kid, I would put together paper towel holders and Hot Wheel tracks, and I would make marbles. I would try to make them go down the whole house if I could. My parents actually bought me one of those really cool marble ramps, and I didn't like that as much. You know, I really thought I would, and I always felt bad about that. They bought me this fairly expensive marble ramp, you know, the ones, and they go down, and it looks cool, but it was such a pain. It was so much more fun to do these big, giant ones where they roll down tracks and stuff. I love that. I think you should do Q&As that you should read the newest comments instead of from the beginning. That way viewers actually have a chance of getting questions answered. No. Why would viewers not have a chance of getting their question answered? You mean viewers who come in at the last second? I'm only 10 minutes behind, so I might miss the last 10 minutes of questions, but I answer some of them. If I answered the newest ones, then people who asked earlier. I'm a firm believer of being on time. You don't have to be on time to a live Q&A. No one cares about that. But I just like the first come, first serve. I've always been a big fan of that philosophy. Jew's Old Spice. Yeah, sometimes. With the huge amount of games coming out, is the Dice Tower moving towards just reviewing games that are good and passing over games that aren't worth playing? Well, yeah, I mean, if we can tell that a game is awful just by looking at it, it's probably not going to get played. But we're still playing a lot of bad games that we thought looked good. Do you think 2017 has potential to be one of the best gaming years in board game history? Yeah, I think so, but we won't know until like 5 years from now. Let's see here. Do you keep your fingernails really short, somewhat long, or in between? I keep them, I just cut them every time they annoy me. So as soon as I'm like, what? It's annoying, I cut them. So probably I don't keep them long. I don't like long nails really that much. You and Eric really differ on the Fast Forward series. Why do you think that is? Well, me and Eric differ on games a lot. That's why he's a good co-host. Well, that's one of the reasons he's a good co-host. But I mean, we're different people. He likes more thinky, puzzly games. I like puzzly, like actual puzzle games, but he tends to like them more than me. Does his long con revolve around the Arnar Games name? No. That's an actual thing. I've not given up, and I just emailed him a few weeks ago and sent him in some more answers, but I'm still wrong. If you're not in the know, Arnar means something. It's not rest and relaxation. It's also not rice and ridiculousness. I don't know what it is. But if you send in and if you get it correct, and they say there are obscure super duper clues. I mean, and he's like an obscure puzzle smith. And if you figure it out, there's a humongous prize, amazing prize for whoever figures it out. I don't know. I keep trying, but I'll just be happy when I figure it out or someone figures it out. What color do you usually pick in games? Wait, it's purple, huh? Is it purple? Yes, it's purple, black, white. Those are my 3 colors. Was there that much negativity on Jason's collection? You know what it was is not so much that there was that much negativity. There was a lot of people who liked his collection, but there was a lot of finger-wagging negativity. That's the kind of person who, as soon as they start speaking, they like put themselves up on a plane like, I'm better than you. And don't get me wrong, we all do stuff like this where we all come in and, you know, like, a head wagging, I think, is the better thing, right? And that's what it was, like, all those games. You know, you should sell those games and feed the poor. Thanks, Judas. Everyone may guess what Tom's long con is? Nope. If you're watching this, it doesn't affect you. The best joke I ever did is acting mute in the subway. People would look at me like they're so cute and my girlfriend wanted to die. I don't know if I've ever done that. I will almost always make faces at kids when their parents are looking, and then Laura kicks me. Who would win between a centaur and a griffin? Oh, the griffin for sure. How could the centaur win? Maybe with a bow and arrow, I guess. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Seven Brides for Seven Brothers is the best musical by far, even over Rocky Horror. I can't even think of one song from Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. Is Chief Sohcahtoa actually Chuck Norris in disguise? No, 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 no. Although I would not be surprised if some of the memes that people make about Chuck Norris were originally made about Chief Sohcahtoa. But he's not an invincible person. I've seen him killed 3 times. I've brought him back from the brink of death many, many times. The guy's not invincible. He's a fantastic hero, and most of you owe him your lives. But I wouldn't say that he's like Chuck Norris. His tears don't cure cancer and all that stuff. Guys and Dolls, another one. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, most people from Guys and Dolls know just the main song, which is the Sit Down, You're Rocking a Boat. But yes, I do like that one too. Are you going to release playthroughs of the new Time Stories expansions? No, we're not. I'm not doing playthroughs of Time Stories anymore. We're just going to play them and then tell you what we think about it. How many times do you have to play a game before the game is reviewed? Enough. Is it standard requirement for everyone on the Dice Tower network when conducting a review? Yes. I had a burger over the weekend with macaroni and cheese on it. Do you have a favorite obscure topping for a burger? Obscure topping? Considering you can put anything on a burger these days, I don't know that there would be an obscure topping. A hash brown is really good on a burger. No, that's better on a chicken though. Better on a chicken. I don't know. Fried pickles? Onion rings? No, I don't really like onion rings on burgers that much though. I don't know. Whatever you find in the fridge, really. Do you have a Premier League soccer team you root for? No. If not, at night you an Arsenal fan, says John. No, I don't care one whit about any of those teams. I'm barely a fan of any team, honestly. I'll root for the underdogs. If I had to pick a team in each sport, it would be the Blue Jays for the baseball. I do like them. The Dolphins for football. The I don't care for basketball. And the I even care less, so much so I can't emphasize it enough, for hockey. For soccer, I would like to emphasize that whatever I said about hockey times 2. So that's who I like best in all the different sports. Dr. Pepper must be one of the worst sodas ever, almost as bad as root beer. I'm not going to ban you for that comment, but I'm thinking about putting you in timeout. Peach iced tea is delicious. Any iced tea is delicious. My favorite iced tea, by far, is blueberry green tea iced tea. Now, you might not think that. You might be like, I don't like green tea iced tea. Okay, that's fine. But blueberry green iced tea is the best iced tea ever. You get a gallon of that, and I will drink every single drop of it for sure. That is my biggest weakness of any drink in the world. I love it so much. Hey Tom, will we see an Empires of the Void 2 review soon? This week? Well, considering it's still in shrink, I'm going to go with no. Where do you get the black shelving used for your games? Oh, IKEA. You can order it online too, I think. If Florida legalizes marijuana, would you try it? No. Those cigarettes are legal and I still don't smoke. Alcohol is legal, I don't drink. So I don't know why that would change anything. I heard that Florida is considering going to daylight savings time all the time. I hope they do. That'd be amazing. We sell a really nice handmade candy cane soap. That sounds amazing. Are you good at fixing things around the house? I am not. Do you like chairs with wheels for gaming? Maybe. Depends on if they move back and forth. Let's see. Cards or dice for combat? You know, if you asked me that anytime, I'd be like, dice. But card for combat works so very well. What ages were the kids you played Stuffed Fables with? Well, 11, although to be fair with Claire, she's 11, but she's probably like 7 in her mind. And 11, 10, and 8. And they loved it. Are there many folks in the Dice Tower cruise who don't play games? My wife and small kids wouldn't likely want to play many games. Well, of course. My whole family doesn't play games on the cruise. Even Melody, who likes games a lot, only played them a few times because she does like doing the other stuff on the cruise. Purple, black, and white. Is Nordic Countries a nice Ticket to Ride map for you? It is. I like those colors. Do you have a 10-gallon cowboy hat? I don't think I do. What's the best birthday gift you received? Well, there's Domain, which is a game my wife hunted down for me and got me. She doesn't very often buy me board games, and that time she did, and that was really nice of her. My wife threw me a surprise party that Joe Stebbin and my pastor blew and spoiled on her, but that was still pretty nice. I've hoped to have a surprise party for years, but I'm like so looking for it, I don't think it would ever happen, right? Tom has actually figured out the R&R secret name. The reward was winning the largest board game review channel. Nope. That'd be cool, though. That'd be funny. Hamilton is the best musical by far. I'm not sure. I think a lot of people are really liking Hamilton. It's new, it's different kind of music, but I think sometimes we kind of like scoff at these old musicals, but they were actually pretty good. I like a lot of the stuff from them. I mean, 76 Trombones, one of the oldest ones, is still really good music. Tom, do you have fun socks as well as hats and ties? I do, although I'm really wearing boring ones today. These are just plaid of different colors. But I have all sorts of fun socks. I love socks. It's easy for my kids. They're like, what should we get, Dad? Let's get them a tie and some socks, which I believe is what I got. A tie, a hat, and socks for Christmas for my kids. That is a good gift. Favorite chip dip? Queso, for sure. That's interesting. Kevin asked about the beginning of the Dice Tower. Maybe I should make a video where I talk about the beginnings of the Dice Tower, like our history of the Dice Tower with Tom Vasel. It goes to black and white. Way back in 2003. And people are like, what? 2003? Now, oh yeah, someone said they love my opinion on sports. Look, I don't look down. It's really easy to look down on people who like sports. We got to be careful about that. I think sometimes there's almost this nerd anti-sports. Someone says, like, who'd you root for in the Super Bowl? And we're like, I didn't root for anybody because I'm not stuck liking sports. Ooh, Great Western Trail, so much better than Terraforming Mars. You better shut up. Now, I want to also point out, I don't care what sport teams win. We got to be careful about that, right? I always tell people I'm rooting for the refs. But you don't want to steal other people's love of sports from them. Just because I'm not a big fan of sports doesn't mean other people who don't like sports, they can do it. I look at them sometimes oddly, and I will give them the what have you if they ever get on my case about being a nerd, because sports fans are the biggest nerds ever. They're just nerds about sports. But that's fine. Don't call me a nerd, though, if you're doing fantasy football. A grilled cheese lasagna? That sounds amazing. Where would you find this blueberry tea? Unfortunately, I know that it's probably online. I found it at Publix, which is the greatest grocery store around. But it's not there all the time. It's just there every once in a while. And when it is, I buy it. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the founder of IKEA just passed away. I read about that. How can I use Super Chat? I don't actually know how to use Super Chat. I've never done it myself. It's maybe someone who does it. Oh yeah, there it is. You've been told. Hey Tom, you've talked about the BattleTech CCG and novels. Did you enjoy the BattleTech game? I never heard you talk about it. Oh, I like the BattleTech game. It's just a little clunky for me, right? There's just too much. I move my mech, and then I'm going to shoot at your mech, and I need to look at this. Okay, I'm higher than you. I'm running, and this, and then I shoot, and then where do I hit you? Now, building the mechs and putting this stuff on, I love that. It's also hard to really get too much into the battle mech stuff when you can play like video games and stuff with it. But it's not an awful game. I just think that for me, it's a little dated. Why do you say that 11-year-old Clara is 7 in her mind? Because my daughter is developmentally disabled. She is in, probably should be in 6th grade, but instead we have her in 3rd grade with my other daughter. We homeschool with my other daughter. She had some massive seizures when she was 2 years old. We figured out what caused the seizures, but it involved the doctors essentially cutting half of her brain, cutting her brain out, half of her brain. She no longer has that usage anymore. And that has caused her to basically have like a stroke, where she is having to relearn how to use the left half of her body. But also she has a lot of problems in that regard. She's very friendly. She's loving. She, this past Christmas, told everyone in church that I was going to give everybody $10,000 each. And we love her dearly. But she plays games with me and the elementary kids. Moulin Rouge was a great musical. Yeah, I guess, but it was basically just using other music that already existed. This is the musical Q&A, apparently. Do you have a plan for the Dice Tower to continue if you ever needed to leave for whatever reason? Now, the Dice Tower could continue on a short-term basis. My wife and I were talking about this the other day. If something happened to me, I've given her instructions on what to do if something happens to me. Yeah, I don't have any like step away plan, although I'm building to be able to have that sort of plan. Electric shaver or razor? I use an electric shaver to trim my beard, but I use a safety razor. I mean, Z got me on those. I was using like the disposable razors, and he introduced me to safety razor, and I was like, wow, why am I ever using disposable razor, safety razor? And then I get to put the shaving cream on a brush and brush my face. I feel like some old timey-wimey guy, but it does work. So what designer makes the widest ranges of games, genres, complexity, etc.? Vlada Kabato. Has the weather in Florida warmed up? Yeah, it's not cold, it's not hot, it's perfect right now. Am I caught up in questions? What is going on? All right. That's pretty cool. What are your thoughts on Mythic Battles Pantheon? It looks cool. I haven't played it. Sam and Vernon just played it again this weekend, and Sam was putting it together here. Oh, maybe the live chat stopped pulling the stuff in. Let me see if I can. That's probably what happened here. Who's my favorite rapper? I don't really care about rap music. Are you the only guy with good hair at Dice Tower? Probably not. Did I cheer on the Eagles during the Super Bowl? Well, yeah, but like, yay, Eagles. Actually, my brother is a huge Eagles fan, so I would consistently send him texts. Every time the Eagles scored, I'd send him a text and say, listen, they're probably still going to blow it. Just trying to keep you humble. And they would, you know, Patriots would score, and I'd be like, see, told you. Eagles would score, and I'd be like, you know, they're never going to be able to survive this. This is never going to happen. It's never going to. I'm a very supportive brother. What you hate in set collection games? I don't despise set collection games. I mean, Ticket to Ride is a set collection game of some sorts. I like set collection, actually. Do you ever do anything interesting, different, or fun with empty punch boards? I used to get my kids for tracing purposes, like they would draw pictures with them, but that got old really fast. Hats. What started your obsession? I don't think I've been an obsession. I just like wearing hats. I've worn hats my whole life. I always looked for hats. I couldn't afford them when I was younger, so I had like baseball caps. I wore baseball caps all the time. I didn't wear them in my reviews that much because I've always not worn hats when inside. And I don't know what started me wearing them in reviews. I just started doing it, and this wasn't even that long ago. It was less than 5 years, and I just wear them all the time in reviews. But if I go outside the house and go anywhere, I always wear a hat if I remember. Sometimes I forget, and it drives me nuts. Tom, I know you love fireworks. You should come check out the place I work called Shelton Fireworks. While you're at Recon, you've never seen a fireworks store this big. That would be amazing, but I would just feel bad about it because I wouldn't be able to buy any of them. And you say, no, you could buy them, but then what would I do with them? I would ship them back to my house, and they would sit there for almost a year. Thanks for that tidbit on Clara. It's Clara, by the way, not Claire. Tom, I didn't mean to pry into things personal. My little son has autism, so I can certainly understand. No, you know, if I think something's personal that I don't want to share with people, then I don't share it with people. I think it's important to talk about these things because if there's one thing I've learned is that when people see someone who has some sort of disability, they pretend it doesn't exist. It's the easiest way to handle things. You see a kid in a wheelchair, you see something, and you're thinking that's really sad, and you pretend it doesn't exist. Or even worse, you'll pretend that they have a different problem. How are you? They're not wearing hearing aids, or not able to understand things. They're in a wheelchair. And parents like talking about these things, and the reason why is because no one wants to talk to them about it, and it gives them a chance just to explain what the difficulties are. And you can understand, and understanding the problems that people have will make you understand them better as a person. And so I never get upset when someone says, so what's wrong with Clara? I'll tell them what's wrong with Clara, because Clara is not stupid. She's as good as the rest of my kids. And we always wonder what would happen if she hadn't had that seizure when she was 2, but she did. And we are thrilled because I can't tell you how much it bothered me when we first moved to America, because we came to America looking for better health care. Korea has great health care, but they couldn't figure out what the problem was. And it bothered me that no one could figure she had seizures all the time. They gave her seizure medicine, and then people couldn't figure out what it was. When the doctor figured it out, and like one of the best, I almost hugged the guy because I knew what the problem was, and that made all the difference in the world. And so when they gave her the operation, and now she can barely use her left arm at all. Her left leg, she moves mostly by swinging her body to make it move, but it works, you know, and we're seeing such growth in her. And, you know, it is a struggle sometimes because she needs more help than other kids do. She may live with me the rest of my life, you know, but that's fine. And I'm willing to talk about that. I never think people should think it's too personal. So, were I good at sports growing up? No, I was horrific. I was terrible at sports. I was always picked last. In fact, when I went to college, I joined a beginning soccer class because I was like, oh, I want to learn about soccer. I thought that the coach was going to be like, this is a soccer ball. He did not. He was like, all right, we're going to run this drill. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. They picked me last every time in teams. This was college. Of course, I also looked like I was super skinny, like unhealthily skinny. And then they would play shirts for skins, and I was always like, I don't want to take off my shirt because I'm so thin, you'll see all my ribs. Now I think the same thing, but for the very opposite reason. Yeah, I never got even better at the game. In fact, at my college, you were not allowed to skip classes. You get in trouble if you did. I skipped the last 3 or 4 things of soccer, and the coach never wrote me up. I think he was glad I didn't come. Except the one sport I was okay at as a kid, street hockey. I don't know what it was. I loved it. And street hockey should not be in my wheelhouse because I'm so tall, right? But I love street hockey. I still like it. I haven't played it in ages, though. Let's see here. Favorite color in food? Mine is yellow, number 5. Actually, I put yellow. I made this. I went to the fair and I got this ghost pepper dip mix. And so I made this dip with it, and I tasted it, and I was like, oh, not so bad. Ooh, there's a kicker to it. It wasn't too bad, but I was like, all right, if I'm taking this to a thing, I don't want people to be surprised. It's not an April Fool's joke. I'm going to take this dip and put it there, but I was like, Laura, we need some red food coloring. I want to make it look hot. But we had no red food coloring for some reason, so we had yellow. So I made it yellowish, barely, you could tell. And then I just put signs on it that said extremely spicy, which works, keeping the people who don't like any spice away from it, and the people who love spice would eat it and go, that's not too bad. Oh, it's pretty good. So that worked. I just didn't want people to be fooled by it. Do you have a nap room at the studio? No. I thought about such a thing, but there's no room right now. Are you looking forward to painting with Vernon Piper? Well, I don't think I'm going to hate it. Jason hasn't been discouraged to show off more of his collection, has he? No, I don't think so. He's still pretty excited about it. You suck. Do you still use eggs for werewolf from the Korean days of gaming? No, those weren't mine. I know what you're talking about. Oh, that was such a cool thing. We got these smart boards, and they had these little voting devices, and no one used them hardly at all. And I was like, oh, I'll use them. So I would use them for that. And then it would like track, you had to give them all the kids, and the board would read them, and you could track who voted for who. They were great, but they weren't mine. Let's see. Hey, Tom, you once mentioned a better search engine for Kickstarter. Can you remind me, please? Their search engine is dreadful. Oh, yes, for sure. It's KickTrack. That's K-I-C-K-T-R-A-Q. You're right, Kickstarter. Sometimes I was just talking to Kenny today because we're working on the Pledge Manager, and he was like, well, what's something about the Kickstarter? I'm like, all right, let's pull it up. I'm like, wait, we're on Kickstarter. We having a hard time. We type in Dice Tower. It doesn't bring up our thing. It's like, it's just an awful search engine. You're right. So KickTrack works really well, though. I don't want you to take off my shirt because you'll see all the ribs I ate. Yes, 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 yes. All right, one-upmanship versus Redneckopoly. Redneckopoly is probably, oh no, that's awful. Yeah, they're just terrible games. Have you played the Breath of the Wild DLC? No, but my kids have played it up the wazoo. I got caught up in Skyrim, although last week for some reason, the internet went out of our house. We got it fixed now. And during that time, I was like, oh, I want to do something. Oh, no internet. I was like, all right, does Steam work without internet? And yes, some games do. So Civilization. So I start playing Civilization. And I'm playing a Tom Vasel versus the world. So I'm playing against everybody on the hardest setting. But I gave myself, like, I'm playing Civilization 4, where you can make your own map, because they still haven't added that functionality in Civ 6. So I'm playing against all the nations of the world. Bring it on. But I gave myself extra, like tons of extra money, tons of extra starting resources and stuff, and I'm fighting everybody. And so right now, I have them all beat down except Gandhi. Ah, Gandhi. That warmongering, actually he's not a warmongering, but he's pretty powerful. And he keeps like, no, I won't attack you. I'm like, you wait, Gandhi. Cruise question. What was Jason's email to send for booking info? dicetowercruise@gmail.com. Let's see. Any way to fund Kickstarter campaigns with PayPal? No, not really. Not really. Have you ever been to a Korean grill? Would you recommend it? Oh, yeah, for sure. Let me quick. Let's see here. What do you think about Monopoly's Cheaters Edition? I'm kind of meh on that one. Let's see here. How important are rules? They're important. Do you ever fudge things in the spirit of fun? Oh yeah, if I need to. What is your favorite civilization to play in Civ 4, 5, and 6? I don't know. I play with different ones all the time. Rome, usually. Rome, I don't know why I like Rome a lot. Although right now, the one where it's me versus everybody, I'm playing as the Dutch. Huzzah! Okay, well, that is it for today, folks. I really appreciate you guys watching. An hour is up. I need to go check and see how the backgrounds are coming. I'm very excited about that. And I got to get some more reviews done. Woo-wee! So anyway, until next time, I'm sorry, guys. I appreciate you coming by. I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now the yellow dice are going to fight the hordes of the blue meanies. Ooh. The blue team has been allowed more players because they are six-sided dice. The yellow team has mostly 20s along with some 12s and 10s. All right, so how many blue dice do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. 40 is all that is allowed. The other blue meanies can go back to the box. Over here we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Ooh, 12 to 40. The battles of champions. All right, here we go. Starting with 7 to 6. One blue meanie is out. 12 to 2. Another blue meanie is out. 2 to 4. Oh, the first yellow casualty. Oh, it's not looking good. 11 to 4. Another blue meanie is out. 2 to 3. Oh no, another yellow one is out. That is not good odds. A 5 to 1. So the blue meanies have won 3 out of the first 6. Not a good thing. 9 to 2. Woo. 9 to 6. All right, the yellows are feeling a little bit better. 6 to 1. All right, things are coming back around. 11 to 2. 4 to 2. Woohoo! Don't be rolling no 4s, yellow. That's a good way to lose. 7 to 3. All right, after initial scare, the yellows have to all line up again. The leftover ones. There is now, wait a minute, 3 of them lost. Sorry, you guys are out. There is now only 9 yellows left. And there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. 9 to 28. Well, here we go. Next 9. 7 to 4. All right. 12 to 6. All right. The yellows are back on fire. 19 to 5. They are blowing the blue meanies up easily. 17 to 4. 15 to 3. We're kind of getting into some nice repetition here. 15 to 3. That's pretty good. Duplicate rolls. 19 to 5. The yellows are on fire. They must go through. This is the part of the movie where you see the good team winning, but pretty soon you know the bad team is going to do something to come back. 13 to 2. Well, that was a very good set of rolls. Not a single yellow loss in that regard. Can they maintain this? Because there are still 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. They're going to have to go through this twice more each. Here we go. And that's if they all survive. 13 to 5. The blue meanies are starting to wonder. 5 to 5. That's a tie. Both eliminated. The yellow team is screaming about, is that fair? Also, I don't care. All right. 7 to 6. Always feels good. Of course, the yellow team realizes they roll. Ooh, 5 to 4. Another blue meanie has won. Oh my. Oh my. Things are looking a little worried. 4 to 2. Whew. That blue meanie died, but not for lack of the yellow bad play. 6 to 2. All right. The yellows are starting to wonder that they just might be able to pull this off. 7 to 6. 7 to 3. All right. Let's bring them all back in. 2, 4, 6. There's only 7 of them left out of the original 12. But they have whittled the blue meanies down considerably. 3 to 2. All right. Well, the blue meanie was not trying his effort there. 13 to 1. At this point, the yellow guys feel like they probably have this locked up. 8 to 1. Because it just seems 16 to 6. Very good. 18 to 1. 9 to 2. All is feeling really well here at this point in time. 8 to 4. All right. Moving back in, just a few more. 8 to 5. 9 to 4. And finally, oh, another yellow was taken out. 5 to 3. All right. Well, there is only 5 blue meanies left, and there are 6 of the yellows. However, the blue meanies in the second round, due to them bribing the judges and some other egregious, awful things, they are now allowed to go in 2 at a time. Can the yellows defeat them when they're at it together? It is 20 to 5. Yes. 4 to 5. That's another yellow eliminated. 20 to 8. All right, so each time a pair loses, one of them is killed. We're down to 3 blues and 5 yellows. 12 to 7. Oh, this is probably it. This is probably it. 7 to 5. No, another yellow was eliminated. 9 to 6. One is eliminated. This one is now going to be multiplied by 3 to see if he can win against these guys. 9 to 3 defeats the first yellow. 18 to 19. The blue meanies have been defeated. Only 3 remain left of the dirty dozen that started, but that is a good thing. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the next army. And this army is going to use that color that we have never seen before and a side of dice that we've never seen